Okay, so today we're going to do something simple. We're going to make something that's going to maybe enhance your house, or maybe just add a little bit of flair to it. So what I've done is we're going to paint clouds, and
nice.
this would be for ceiling. So what I've done, just to get practice for everybody, go buy your paint. Doesn't have to be, I like sky blue, but you can pick any color you want. I would say an eggshell, because you need a little bit of sheen just so the paint can move. And you know, once we start, I'll show you why it moves. But you don't want to go flat. But your eggshell, it has a little bit of gloss to it, but it's not too glossy.
Okay.
So I would go with eggshell. So it's simple. All you need is a little bit of white. And we'll see if it comes out.
What kind of paint is it?
Just acrylic.
Okay.
And it's simple. So put a little white. I like to put a little, it's vanilla, but just to kind of give it that kind of a 3D effect to it.
Okay.
So just throw it on there. It's very subtle, but once you get it up there, and what happens is, as the light, if you have the sun come in, or if you had turn on the lights or whatever, this will actually hit and actually make it look 3D.
Oh, okay.
So the brush that you want to get is, you want to get a stiff brush. You don't want to get a flimsy brush.
Okay.
So, and you want to get a piece of paper towel and water it down pretty good. So it's simple. So all you do is put it here, hit the water a little bit, and we're going to start small, and then we'll make a bigger cloud. So yeah, this one. So all you do is just dab it in, and we'll say we'll make this cloud look like that. So dab, dab, dab. So this is going to be your base here. And then you hit the water again, and then you can start feathering it out a little bit. So you want the bulk of your color to kind of be here. And then you kind of feather it out, and then we'll hit the vanilla. And it doesn't matter, you don't have to wash the brush out because you're blending here anyway. So add just a little bit of vanilla in here just to kind of give it some depth. And then kind of water it down a little bit, and then just kind of blend the two colors together. You'll see, and then you can add white on top of it too. So this is just the basic, and you just want to kind of feather almost out to nothing when you do all that. So I think we got a little bit too much vanilla. It's, you know, you go outside and you see the clouds, you can see some of them are darker than others, and you can use different colors. So you just kind of feather them out. I'm just going to take some of the paint off. Feather them out. And then you kind of give a little twist to the paintbrush. Just kind of blend it, blend it out so you don't get those rough edges from the brush. And just practice. Get a couple of pieces of paper once you get your paint that you want to use for your ceiling. And just practice. And you can...
Is this just like newsprint that you're practicing on?
This is just like, yeah, it's like a newsprint. You can use any kind of paper that you want, but this is the cheapest paper that you can get.
Okay.
And it usually comes in a pad of maybe 100 sheets, so just practice a little bit. And then once you get the technique down, feather it out, and maybe a little bit more white. And just play with it a little bit. It's not exact science. Clouds are random anyway, so you can do that. So we've taken what we did was a small cloud, and now we're doing this big. So now you can just kind of spur out and kind of feather it out just a little bit. You don't have to get really dark on the feathering out, just so it kind of blends into the sky. So what we're going to do after we do this is we're going to show you a small project that I did in the pantry, and then later on we'll go upstairs to a more grand area to make a more of effect. But it's fun, and just play with it, throw some more white in. so it doesn't look all vanilla, but what you're trying to do is build layers. And you can even let this dry, and then you can come back and add a little bit more highlights of the white if you want. But just take your time, and it's easy. But you just gotta flare it out just a little bit. And you can even take it off into, a way off, because you'll see clouds in the sky. They'll have the bulk of the cloud, and then they'll kind of fade off on the side, just the way the wind's blowing. So it's really simple. So here we are in the pantry. This is my first project with the clouds. So you can see just a simple accent up in the pantry just adds a little bit, a little bit more elegance to your house. But you start small, and then you can go with something where it's bigger, maybe like your bedroom or whatnot. But this is something small. It just adds a little touch to a simple room like your just pantry. But this is what it looks like. Okay, so we just came down from came up from the pantry actually, but that was a small project. But now, once you get confident and do what you want to do, then you can do something like this. This is up in our loft, and I thought it looked nice. What do you think?
It looks excellent.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of detail.
It does. It gives the room a whole other sort of dimension.